Hey y'all, it's Hope at Crafty Hope, and this is my small junk journal, page 9. And this page is a piece of purple paper with a big old label decorative sticker on it. Again, I didn't like it. I don't know why I stuck these stickers in this journal. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm covering it up with some collage, and I'm using some different papers, obviously. I've used these papers over and over again. This, I know that it's just going to get covered up. I just didn't want that shiny sticker I knew was going to be hard to get any kind of media on there. So I'm just trying to cover it up. A little bit of it does peek through some of these papers, but that's okay. It ends up working out fine. You don't really see it in the end. So I stuck down my papers with my Oohoo glue stick, and I'm taking a pencil and just putting some scribbles down there just to kind of get me a jumping off point for this. And then that's a Neo Color 2 in a green, and I don't know, I was just trying to get some more color, and I scribbled that on there and wet it, and it's not even visible, I don't think, in the end. And this is it's some kind of ink. It's Dynaflow, I think. I don't really know what it's used for. I picked it up at the Five and Dime years and years ago, and I am just throwing it on here. This is like a bright pink, which kind of pulls from the bright pink that had been on that sticker, and put that down there. And then that's I think Dinah Wakely, maybe, acrylic paint in Tangerine, I think is the right one. I hope I'm getting all that right. I'm not at home while I'm recording this, so I can't look. And then a distress crayon in a pretty kind of a turquoisey blue green that I am just kind of rubbing into that wet ink and paint that's on there, and just getting a couple of really bright, fun colors down on there. It ends up being almost lines of color that I didn't intend, but that's fine. It's there, it's whatever. And here's some Deco Arts Media gesso that I'm scraping on with a palette knife because I knew I wanted to push those colors to the background. I want them there, but I knew that I wanted to draw one of my little faces on there. So I wanted something that would be kind of pushed to the background, but still with plenty of color. So that gesso helped push it back some. And I dried it real quick with my heat tool to get it down, to get it dry before I started with my Stabilo all pencil in black. And I'm not great with faces. I've got my own little style that I do. They're kind of sketchy and weird, but I like them. And I'm not real good with arms and bodies and all that. So they tend to just be heads on shoulders. But that's fine. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to figure out how to get the hands and bodies and feet and all that going. And maybe one day I'll get it. So once that little face was drawn with my Stabilo all, I use a thin paintbrush with some water on it just to kind of, I don't know, I like when the Stabilo gets wet. It kind of darkens the Stabilo some and really brings it forward and gives it just a yummy grunginess that where you can blend it to give shadows and all of that. So that's all I'm doing with this wet paintbrush. Now, what's also great about that Stabilo is if you don't like a line, you can just rub, wet it plenty and rub it off. So that it's, not there anymore. And I had some trouble with the mouth. I got it like too wet and it kind of bled, but I was able to fix it with that method. Now those that I've got out are just watercolor pencils, and I think I used an orange to do her shirt to bring that orange from the background in, and then like a fuchsia for her hair to again bring the fuchsia that's in that background up forward. And while I had that little bit of fuchsia on my paintbrush, I went ahead and just put a little bit of a cheek there, and I think I used a little brown to give a shadow on her nose, and that's it. You don't really see any of those, but here I'm trying to fix some of those things. Now this is the part that I regret most on this page. That is a Faber-Castell pen in a gold. I drew some ovals and put some little crosses in them and then some dashes on there. But I ended up using some gold foil here in a little bit. And I don't know, that gold pen distracts from it. Now that Posca paint pen, I don't know what I was going to do with it, but it ended up when I was trying to get the white to come out, I got too much over on my side paper, so I just splashed it on there to I don't know, add to it. For my phrase on here, I had a stamped phrase on a piece of tissue paper that I decided was going to be my phrase, and I trimmed it down a little, but I decided to go ahead and pull out that gold leaf because I wasn't loving the gold with the Pitt pen. So I am using my Oohoo glue stick just to adhere that down in a couple little spots, and I like that I can kind of rub over the gold foil and it doesn't have a definite shape. It gives it kind of a like a painted grunginess. I keep saying grungy, but I don't know how else. Almost like a peeled paint kind of effect on it. So I'm just putting that down in a couple spots before I take my little phrase, and I'm going to just stick it down with my Oohoo glue stick. Normally I think I'd use a fluid medium, but I didn't feel like pulling that out, so it worked fine to do it with my Oohoo glue stick. But to help blend that in a little, I'm going to get a little bit more of the gold foil and put it around the outside of that phrase, which says "Be your own kind of beautiful," which I thought worked with my funny little girl there. And so I'm just rubbing that around on the outside, getting that gold foil to work in there, and I really love the gold foil on there. It adds a little bit of something. I've seen a lot of other artists I watch on YouTube use it a bit, so I thought that was fun, and I probably work it in some more. Now that is just a Sharpie pen that I'm making. I made a couple little dashes on there, but then I'm making a bunch of tiny little X's around on the page just to add a little more texture, try to cover up some of those um, I don't know, crossed circles, crossed ovals I've got in there. And that was it for this page, guys. Like I said, I'm, not a huge fan of the little doodles I did, but they're good. It works. It gave some texture. Now, if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.